The pageantry on display this weekend has been spectacular, but now the world champs have to take care of some business on the field. And there's no one better at taking care of business than Matt Cain. Cain will face the same Cardinals team that he shut down in Game 7 of the NLCS. And he'll be going against the ace of the Cardinals staff, Adam Wainwright. It's the rubber match of the series, and it's next.
It's Hyundai Sunday on Comcast Sportsnet. Bay Area is Giants Baseball is brought to you by your Bay Area Hyundai dealers. Today it's the Giants and Cardinals, Game 1, or make that Game 3 of this 3-game series, and winner wins the series. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, look, we just got from the ceremony on the field, and I got to say there's quite a vibe in this ballpark right now.
Well, if you think about it, it's kind of the last day that you'll refer officially to the 2012 season. Today the Giants got their rings, and they all walked around and they looked at them and they were quite impressed. But now they take the rings off. They put the gloves on and they try to defend. And today they get back to the matter of the hand, and the matter at hand is trying to beat these Cardinals and win that series. And on the hill, Matt Cain's going to be the guy responsible to try and get them in that win column, and he's throwing well today, partner. All
right, Adam Wainwright will be on the hill. That's who the Giants hitters will be facing. It was a tremendous ceremony, and the fellas got their jewelry. When we come back, we will have the lineups and the first pitch right after this.
On Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Try the new Hot Mess Burger today. It's loaded with spicy jalapenos, onion rings, and gooey pepper jack cheese. And by Toyota. Do the math and save at your local Toyota dealer.
Well, back here at AT&T Park, where the folks in charge of taking everything away from the ceremony, and they have almost completed that duty. Our game time weather is brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily for spring break. It is 61 degrees here at the yard. We've got winds at right around 10 miles per hour, humidity at 84%. And it is cloudy, but once in a while today, like now, you'll see the sun pop through. So the umpires are out. Everything that was a part of the ceremony is now very close to being off the field as Buster Posey and Matt Cain lead their team out of the dugout. The lineup that Matt Cain will be facing, it'll be John Jay in the leadoff spot, followed by Matt Carpenter and then Alan Craig. Carlos Beltran, see his numbers against Cain are very good. We'll hit cleanup. Then it's Molina, Adams. Ty Wigington gets a start. Wigington's at third. Then it's Cosma and Wainwright.
On the hill today for the Giants will be the horse, Matt Cain, 6'3", 230-pounder. Cain in his 8th year at the big league level. He's 28 years old. And this is what he did in his opening outing in Los Angeles. 6 strong innings. 8 strikeouts against 1 walk, just 5 base runners in that game. When he's throwing right, you're going to see a guy who'll throw a fastball 90-93. Depending on the grip, he'll use all 4 corners of the strike zone with that fastball. He'll throw a changeup, he'll cut the ball, he'll throw a curveball and a slider. And really, with Cain, you can expect to see anything at any time. He can pitch. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Cain today. Cain, who brings a 2-3 lifetime record into today's ballgame against these Cardinals. This is who's going to back him up. In the outfield, from left to right, it'll be Blanco, Pagan, and Pence. Crawford and Sandoval on the left side of the infield. Scudero and Bell on the right side. And Buster Posey will be in the squad, putting down the signs. It is a rubber game. Giants won the first one against the Cardinals. Cardinals rebounded yesterday. So today determines who wins the series. And on ring day, you know the Giants want to send this Sunday crowd home with a smile on their face.
See the uniform worn today, the gold SF on the front. Very cool.
I love that uniform.
So here's the first pitch of the ball game to John Jay, and he lifts it into center field to Pagan. And Pagan puts it away in this game and out. That started at 140.
Matt Cain through the first perfect game in Giants history last year. Finished 6th in the Cy Young Award voting. An all-star game starting pitcher. He was also the winning pitcher. He's the winning pitcher in the clinching games of the NLDS and NLCS. And he was a starting pitcher in the World Series clincher. Not a bad season.
So here's Carpenter. There are a number of Cardinals in this lineup that have some ownage on Cain. One is Carpenter, who's 4 for 4 lifetime.
Well, that makes him due to making out, doesn't it?
And these are not numbers. These are not numbers that include postseason. Carpenter hit a home run off of Cain in postseason. Fouls this one back. It's 1-2. Carpenter went 0 for 1 with a couple of walks on Friday. And then yesterday 2 for 4. Scored a couple of runs. Giants won 1-0 on Friday and lost 6-3 yesterday. And just a piece off of the shin guard of Buster Posey. 1-2.
Let me figure out how to do that.
Now you see the ring right there. That was a giveaway ring to 40,000 that got here first today. It really is a nice little ring.
One-two delivery. And they're going to say it hit Carpenter's bat, and that's a strikeout. You're right, he was due to make an out.
Both pitchers are going to benefit from the umpire today. Doug Eddings behind the plate, a good balls and strikes guy. He's a low ball preference. Oh, he called it on the swing.
He did. Yes, he did.
Eddings has a big zone, and he's also a very good breaking ball umpire. He hangs in there on breaking balls.
So here's Alan Craig. Craig is 0 for 4 lifetime against Kane as he takes a strike.
And then again, there's the giveaway ring tonight.
Got it right here.
It put a smile on a lot of people's faces.
In tight. Craig got a couple of hits on Friday. 1 for 3 in the game yesterday. A bit high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Beltran would hit should Craig reach here in the first. And that's hit a mile high into shallow center field. And Crawford's doing the pop-up dance, and he puts it away to end the inning. Nice hitting for Kane. Giants coming up. Coming up, and this is their lineup. It'll be Pagan, Scudero, and Sandoval. They will hit 1, 2, 3. The cleanup hitter is Buster Posey. See his numbers lifetime against the Cardinals. Very good. Pence will hit 5th. Then it's Belt, Blanco, Crawford 8th, Kane 9th.
On the hill today for the St. Louis Cardinals will be Adam Wainwright. All 6'7", 235 pounds of him. Wainwright, a 7-year veteran, 31 years old. And then his opening day assignment, you'll see what he did. And took a loss as the Cardinals went down to the Arizona Diamondbacks. If you're taking an at-bat off of Wainwright, you can be aware that he throws really great breaking balls. He's got a fastball that'll go low 90s. He'll cut the fastball. He's got a slider and a curveball and a changeup. And he's the type of guy with that high 3/4 release, and he's not going to give in to him. And he'll throw a lot of breaking balls in any count. Really is his strength, and he has an excellent umpire, as we mentioned, for those breaking balls.
So here's Pagan. Pagan 4 for 12 against Wainwright lifetime. See, this year he's 6 for 20 on the season. And there's a strike call at the knees. Pagan 2 hits yesterday. He's 2 for 8 in this weekend series against the Cardinals, and the 1-1 delivery. For Scudero to follow, it's 2 balls and 1 strike. I'm still trying to get my heart rate down from that ring ceremony.
I wish we could describe accurately the vibe that was coming out of the stands toward the field. It was amazing. Man. Blanket of warmth.
3-1. Wigginton is in at third, but off the line. See if Pagan gets something here that he can put in play. He does. And John Jay is going to watch this one roll. And Pagan is on the move. Pagan is going to go for it. A bit of a risk, and he's going to make it. Well, you like to get the crowd into it, and he just did.
One swing of the bat gets them all clapping and yelling, and we're going to make it a Ford-right choice. And he gets out of that box immediately, and he's anticipating 3. And if he does not get a good jump out, he has no chance. It was that close at third base. And right here, watch him kick into the afterburners. And in his ring day uniform, a belly slide just to get dirty the way he likes it. And that's our Ford-right choice.
So here's Scudero, who's off to a slow start, does not have an RBI, and there's one standing at third. And a first pitch strike. Scudero 2 for 6 in his career against Wainwright. Two for 19 on the season with a couple of walks. And a check swing. It's 0-2. The infield for the Cardinals, with the exception of Adams at first, is playing back. Not so much Wigington. A ground ball to Wigington, and you'd have to hold up. But second and short, Pagan can come home. Out of play. It stays at 0-2.
Let's look at the Cardinal defense playing behind Wainwright. Starting the Cardinals outfield from left to right, it'll be Craig, Jay, and Beltran. Cosma and Wigington on the left side, Carpenter and Adams on the right side, and Yadier Molina will be in the squad putting down the signs.
Got him.
Just a tight little cut right there in the outside corner. We talked about the big zone, especially the low zone that you get from Eddings. And there's an example of it. Wainwright in a strikeout situation strikes out Scudero, who is a very difficult hitter to strike out.
Well, there's no doubt right now that Scudero's a little messed up. Remember, he had some back issues right at the end of spring training. Here's Sandoval. Now the Cardinals will draw the infield in. Sandoval hit a long home run yesterday. No balls and 1 strike. Sandoval 3 for 10 against Wainwright, lifetime. Got a walk and a strikeout. And that was a challenge right there.
Well, Wainwright does not have a whole lot of fear out there. He will go at you. He will put the pressure on the hitter. Pablo Sandoval after yesterday's game said, you know, I don't really feel right at the plate yet. I'm still searching for a swing. I mean, he's hitting 278 with 2 homers and 4 RBIs, but in his mind, he still doesn't feel like he's locked in. Hitters and pitchers, they'll tell you. Ask any of them, they'll give you an honest answer. How you feeling right now? Not so good right now. How you seeing the ball? Not so good. How you seeing the ball? Good. Yesterday, this was a good one. Goes left center against Edward Mojica, and that is not an easy thing to do. 2 home runs, and they've both been impressive home runs.
So Molina has a chat with Wainwright. And it's low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Wainwright lifetime against the Giants 2 and 4, 1 and 1 last year. One and 2.
And now Wainwright in this situation where he'll pitch for the strikeout. Nice play by the left-hander. Center fielder.
Yeah, it could be. First base. We need to see him run first to see where we're going to play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Curveball, he got him. So now it'll take a hit or a mistake for the Giants to score a run.
Yeah, that's a bread and butter curveball, Wainwright. When we first saw him, when the Cardinals made a World Series run, he was their closer with that big curveball. And you can see in our Exmo, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer, that thing breaks big and late. Nasty combination.
And a strike to Buster Posey. Hitting at .235. Just have a couple of hits and 5 lifetime at bats.
Come on, Blue, where's your dog?
Little cut fastball, and Wainwright will use that cutter a lot. For a big guy, 6'7", 235, I mean, he really has an excellent ability to repeat the stroke with his arm slot. And for a lot of guys 6'7", that's not that easy.
One and 2.
Just an assortment of breaking balls. 2 curveballs and a cutter. And you talk about a quality hook. That's a quality hook.
One ball and 2 strikes. 2 and 2.
Curveball cutter, curveball cutter. Everything away.
John Jay, the Cardinals center fielder, is shading Posey towards Triple's alley.
They play the left side of the infield to pull. They play the outfield the opposite way.
On a play.
Little sneak attack, 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
And when the Giants saw Wainwright last year, he did not have the 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
He was still rehabbing from big-time surgery on his arm.
Breaking ball hit on the ground to third, where Biggie will make the throw. And Wainwright, after giving up a leadoff triple, gets out of that mess. 0-0.
Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Cache Creek is giving away 16 cars, guaranteed. Visit cachecreek.com for information.
Welcome back to the Giants game. What a day it has been already. The rings finally arrive, and this gentleman heavily involved. Tom O'Rourke, you're the vice president for Tiffany and Company, and we always love to see the blue boxes. And you actually have Bruce Bochy's ring in hand. I don't know if Bruce knows, but we took his ring, and you're going to tell us a little bit about it. Tell us the symbolism of this 2012 World Series ring.
Sure. Well, first, thank you for having me. It's a real pleasure and honor to be here representing Tiffany and Company today. We have Bruce Bochy's ring, and he doesn't know that it's here with us right now, but that's okay. What we have on the top of the ring, I think the most important element is the fact that we have 7 diamonds on either side of the SF, and those 7 diamonds represent the 7 championships that the Giants have won over the years. It's always very important to have some element of San Francisco, so on this particular ring we have a cable car, and the rings were brought in today by the cable car operators, so how appropriate. And then, of course, on the other side of the ring, we have the series results from last year's playoff run, culminating with that 4-0 sweep of Detroit right on top.
And looking at it, it looks silver or white gold, but it's not, is it?
It's 14-karat white gold.
White gold.
It is 14-karat white gold, yes.
It's gorgeous, and I'm curious, as soon as they win the World Series October 28th, when does the planning start for this ring, the story behind it, and then actual production?
The planning starts immediately, never soon enough from our perspective. We'd like to get in the very next day, but really a week or two after the final game and the parade, we'll come in and have our first meeting with the team executives. In this particular case, Larry Baer, Bruce Bochy, Brian Sabian, a number of other front office personnel were in the room, and immediately we start talking about what we want to accomplish through the story. And that's where we get some design elements like the importance of San Francisco and the 7 championships. I think in this particular case, one of the prominent stories was in 2010, the ring was 56 years in the making. And then 2 years later, how do you come back and design another ring that is worthy of winning 2 championships in 3 years? And I think we did that. We were a little bit more understated in 2010. There's nothing understated about this particular ring.
I think the players think it's wonderful, and I think you outdid yourself. Tom O'Rourke, Tiffany and Company, the VP, thank you for joining us. And Dwayne and Mike, let's get it up to you. We're going to hold on to Bruce's ring for a little bit, though.
A nice job, and yes, the rings look absolutely gorgeous. Fly ball to right, got it. Pop up to right, got it.
Very good. Nice going, partner. Okay, we're caught up.
There's Bruce Bochy's ring. Matt Adams with a fly ball to left. Side retired. 3 balls hit in the air, 3 outs. And Hunter Pence is going to lead things off. That's awesome. I want to get that.
is brought to you by the Solar Company. Not just any solar company, the solar company.
No score. Bottom of the second. Hunter Pence to lead things off, facing Adam Wainwright. And Pence takes a strike. Pagan led the first inning off with a triple, and that's where he stayed.
It's not often you see that happen where a guy gives up a triple and they don't score.
Here's Cosma throwing on to Adams. Well, the 2012 Giants Championship collection, it's there for the fans. Collection is made up of an assortment of commemorative pieces, including personalized fan rings, earrings, cufflinks, charms. This is what you do. It's sold at all Bay Area dugout stores and through sfgiants.com/fanring. So that's probably the best way to do it. Go to sfgiants.com/fanring and you can see what's available. Mike has the cufflinks on.
Yeah, we really got a chance to see the collection, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Belt hits a high fly ball in the park to center field. And Jay will put it away.
We talked about the collection, and it's just classy. It's just fun, and for something that I think every Giants fans feel a big part of, and had made a contribution. But what better way to get just some sort of a significant chunk of jewelry you can wear to remind yourself of a glorious and very special season.
Here's Blanco. Blanco is at 286. Blanco 1 for 6 lifetime against Wainwright. And he skies this one to left. So a lot of fly balls today. And that'll be put away and left by Alan Craig to end the inning. We will head to the third here at AT&T Park. It's 0-0.
Your Bay Area Hyundai dealers.
You Godfather.
All right, here it's 0-0. Is Matt Cain's about to face Ty Wigington. Just slightly distracted, but that's all right.
Wow.
Wigington will take a breaking ball from Cain, and it misses. Well, our boss, Giants President and CEO Larry Baer, and Mario Alioto stopping in as this is hit to Crawford. Please make the play. And dropped off our rings. And in between innings, they were kind enough to hand him over.
You guys are as deserving as anybody I know. This ring, so maybe it's yours. Right?
Wow.
Right? Bless you. You guys are more family than anybody I know in this place. Thanks for all that you do.
Is that awesome or what?
Is that a little bit of blame?
I got to put it on.
No, you're the first guy I've seen that's gone double.
Holy smokes.
Is that awesome or what?
Yeah.
Is that the way to do it? One on each hand?
It is now.
It even sings out.
Wow.
You guys.
Right
Lars,
there.
thanks.
Listen.
It's our pleasure, believe me.
So that was our enjoyment. And thank you to Larry and thank you to Mario. And I'd say that all the people involved in designing this, obviously including the Tiffany people, and they nailed it. With the series outcomes on the side of the ring, and there you see Mario and Larry behind us. The cable car with our name or the player's name on the other side. What I thought was really nice about the players' rings is they had their numbers on it this year, which is very cool. I asked Matt Cain if he would leave his blank and I could have 18. He said no.
Well, I think it was a good question.
2-2 to Pete Kozma. Kozma fouls it out of play.
Kozma has been on a tear since the start of the season. It's not often you see the hottest guy in your lineup hitting eighth, but that's the case with the Cardinals.
On deck is Wainwright. No score. These are the distractions that we really enjoy. There's a strike call. 2 down.
Well, you put this ring on your hand and you truly feel the weight of their accomplishment. And you look down the side and they make mention of the series between the Reds. Giants win 3-2. But the Cardinals, they win 4-3. And then, of course, the sweep of the Tigers 4-0. And that's on the ring. And I mean, you feel what they accomplished by putting this on there. It's just like, it's hard to describe, partner. It's wonderful.
The SF rises above the base of the ring. Here's Wainwright. Oh, Wainwright doesn't care that we're really not paying a whole lot of attention to his at bat.
They said the ring was going to be about 30% bigger, and they are.
Belt will put it away, and Kane 9 up, 9 down. That's a peach, hon.
Giants? Well, visit the Dynamic Deals page at sfgiants.com/dynamic deals. Take advantage of the $8 dynamic deal on this coming Wednesday, April 10th. Giants taking on the Rockies at 12:45, and there are tickets for $8. Check it out, sfgiants.com/dynamic deals.
It'll be Crawford, followed by Kane, and then Pagan here in the third inning. Only one base runner. That was the triple by Angel Pagan. Crawford takes a strike. Crawford's got pretty good history against Wainwright. He's 3 for 6 with a double. One ball and one strike.
Now this is shaping up to be a good old-fashioned duel, as both Wainwright and Kane are locked in.
Hit on the ground. That's a fair ball, and it kicks off the glove of Adams. Crawford's going to turn the bag and head for two, and he's got a double.
He's been hitting in bad luck, and when you start hitting balls that go right over the bag, that in your mind means things are starting to change. Hard to be patient when you have such a great spring as he had with the bat, and then he starts off in the first few days. It just doesn't go down like it had gone in spring training. Get a little impatient. Well, they're starting to fall now.
Here's Kane. Kane's job, advance Crawford to third as he'll take an off-speed pitch down low.
These are the little things you have to do as a starting pitcher. You have to be able to be a good bunter, get that runner over, especially in games that figure to be low-scoring games like today's.
Good bunt. Wigington will make the play.
Perfect.
Well, just moments ago, our partners, a couple of guys that we adore, Dave Fleming and John Miller, they got their ring. Question is which ring will Dave wear? His Stanford Rose Bowl ring or this one?
Well, that's a hard choice for him.
Yeah, I think for all of you out there on Twitter, ask Dave that at Fleming Dave. That's his Twitter. At Fleming Dave. Ask him which ring he's going to wear. Stanford or this one. There's a dribbler foul. No balls in one strike. Pagan at the plate with the infield in, and Crawford at third. Down the right field line, Crawford will score. Pagan is going to put on the brakes. 1-0 Giants. He just hooked it over the head of Adams. I see the makings of the cycle here today.
Now, once you get the triple out of the way, I mean, the rest is easy, right? Let's take a look. This is not really a hanger. It's a breaking ball that's on the knee-high corner inside. And Pagan stays inside enough to keep it fair down that line. An easy score for Crawford. Just like that, he puts himself in scoring position.
Here's Scudero. Scudero takes high and away. Scudero struck out looking in the first. High again. 2-0. Sandoval on deck. Wainwright a double look. And this is bounced to Cosma. Pagan moves over to third. 2 outs, and here's Sandoval. Well, check out the Warriors and Jazz tonight, right here in Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. It'll be pregame live at 4:30. They will start the ball game at 5 p.m. The Warriors back at Oracle as the playoff push continues. I almost said drop the puck. That would not have worked.
I guess you can do that. They're a lot easier to dunk than a basketball.
So here's Sandoval. A hit. Knocks in Pagan. Sandoval struck out in the first inning. He's had some good rips. It's no balls and 1 strike.
Cutter. And that's a hittable pitch. And Wainwright, like a lot of aces, I mean, a lot of times the best pitch you're going to see location-wise is that first one. Once they get on top of you 0-1, then they start nibbling on corners. And Sandoval was waiting for it.
Sandoval, center field, base hit. 2-0 Giants.
Hey, one thing he did is he took a little swing out. And that's from a hitter's perspective, especially a good one with power. That's a tip of the cap to the guy up there on the mound. A little more controlled swing, going right back up the middle, gets himself a 2-out RBI. And those are huge. Not a violent swing, just right back up the middle. And here's the reward.
Here's Buster Posey. Off the plate to Posey, who bounced out to third. Low and in, 2-0.
Wainwright's nibbling. And Posey's swinging the bat well. He stays in that strike zone. And he can make a pitcher sweat.
Two-0 breaking ball, 3-0.
Definitely a pitcher strike in the 3-0, but that's an Edding strike. I mean, he likes those knee highs, and he does have width on both sides of the plate with the low strike.
Out of play down the right field line. It's now a full count, and Sandoval will be on the move. Here's the payoff to Buster Posey. On the ground again to third, where Wigginton will make the play, and that'll end the inning. Giants score twice. After 3. It's 2-0. Pagan having a nice day. The 2012 NLCS against the Cardinals. Matt Cain joined St. Louis Chris Carpenter as only 2 pitchers with victories in 2 winner-take-all games in the same postseason. Cain in that game 7 with 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. 1 ball and no strikes to John Jay. And that evens the count.
First pitch changeup. Second pitch changeup.
Third pitch.
I mean, use that fastball after he throws you a soft. And you go high or on your hands like that. That was a strike yesterday, but yesterday's strike zone with Angel Hernandez, you saw more high strikes. Eddings a low ball umpire. You don't get those.
Pagan lets this one scoot by him, and because of that, John Jay is going to be at second base. It'll be an error on Pagan and a single for Jay.
All right, time now for our AT&T trivia question, and you can tweet your answer at CSN Giants. Question today: name the 4 players in ML history to have a career 280 plus average, 300 plus home runs, and 300 stolen bases. If you think you know the answer, tweet us at CSN Giants.
Here's Carpenter, who struck out in the first inning. And a base hit to right field. Pence has got it. They're going to hold the speedy Jay as Pence came up with a good strong throw.
Second time through the lineup. The Cardinals making some adjustments.
So here's Alan Craig. Giants took an early lead yesterday, only to have the Cardinals come back. So the first 2 hits off of Cain come here in the 4th. Back-to-back singles. Out of play to Alan Craig, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Our Spanish radio friends, Tito and Erwin, they get their hardware. Which to really do a good job. And Tito, of course, only in Tito's style, will not stop talking.
He's the best.
Tito's the only Spanish radio personality that I know that could actually do both. If you just heard him speak, he was speaking English and Spanish.
That's true. He's a happy camper.
Here's the 1-1. Hit out to right field. Pence. See the wind knock that one down. It'll knock in John Jay. And the Cardinals are on the board. It's now 2-1. A sacrifice fly for Alan Craig.
Yeah, nice at bat. One thing about this Cardinal lineup, they are a patient bunch. They have a very, very strong confidence in each other. And it really frees them up individually when they know that if they don't get it done, the guy behind them has the ability to do so. It's one of their strengths of the team, and they're patient. And they figure that they can score a bunch of runs and put a crooked number up on any given inning.
Well, that's a fact. Here's Beltran. Beltran hit a fly ball to right field in the second inning. Posey just got a web on that pitch from Kane. It's 2-0. If you're watching Matt Kane know Beltran and know the history that Beltran has against him. And the walk. And Rennell Brooks Moon is going to get some jewelry.
To give the first female ring. Right? First what? First one. First what?
Really like Larry's happiest day of the year.
He loves it.
He and Mario.
Thank you for everything.
Like Santa Claus.
This means the world to me. I know. It's spectacular.
And Rennell's going to wear it. She'll wear it every day. She wore the last one every day.
We'll wear them both on the same hand.
Yes, she will. Maybe on the same finger.
Here's Molina, who popped out to right field in the second. Down the right field line and out of play. It's no balls and one strike.
First pitch cutter, outside part of the plate. Yeah, that thing is not coming off either. See, both Wainwright and Kane using a lot of that cutter to right-handed hitters, just leaking it on that outside corner, let the movement drift away. It's a very difficult pitch to pull. When you go two-seam fastball in the inside corner, and that thing got just off the sweet spot up towards the label. You really can't see the subtlety in the movement from behind, but in that batter's box, you're talking about 3 to 4 inch movement. One going away from you, the other one coming in at you flat, and it's late.
And a fastball high, 1-2.
Try to elevate above the hands. And you can go down, breaking ball down on top of home plate. You can throw a slider off the plate away. You can go change up. You can backdoor a sinker. Lots of options here.
And a base hit to left field. They're going to hold Carpenter, and the bases are loaded for Matt Adams. Three singles in this inning.
Concerned Dave Righetti.
Adams, a guy with a lot of power, popped out to left field to end the second. And he takes down low. See the packed house here today at AT&T Park. A lot of energy. Ring ceremony, fabulous. That is a bomb out into Triples alley. Hunter Pence is not going to catch it. And it bounces into the bleachers, and the Giants catch a break. It's a ground rule double. Any other place but here, it would have been a big fly. And now the Cardinals take the lead.
The Giants don't really have a lot of book on Adams. They do know that he has lots of power. And he's proven that in his minor league career. And he comes up to the big leagues, and he's got some pretty good credentials when you look at the power numbers. Getty out there talking things over with Matt Cain. At Memphis last year, he had 18 home runs. The previous year, he hit 32 home runs at Springfield with 101 RBI. So he's got power. And Cain just dropped one down and in, and he just put the barrel head on it.
I'm going to say down and in's not a real good spot.
That definitely will go down the scout report. And if you ask Matt Cain, I mean, he'll tell you, you're never too comfortable when you're facing a guy with power that you don't know, especially where the bag's full.
Here's Wigington. Wigington takes a strike. He bounced out to Crawford in the third inning.
When you ask a veteran pitcher, would you rather face Beltran with the bases loaded or a rookie with power that you don't know? And he'll tell you, in that situation, I'd rather face a guy I know.
And that's going to be a base hit over Crawford. Blanco gets to it. Adams stops at third, and it's now 4-2. So the hits continue off of Cain.
Cain, who was perfect the first 3 innings, 9 up, 9 down, 2 strikeouts. And this time through the lineup, the Cardinals have made some very impressive adjustments.
5 hits in the inning. And here's Pete Kozma. And the red alert has gone down. And it's Jose Mijares in tight to Kozma. Cain always so good at a shutdown inning. Didn't happen today.
Pitching for a double play ball right now.
And it's a squeeze, and Buster Posey picked it up a little too late, and it's popped back and out of play.
Mike Matheny going with the sneak attack. And really, if you're a manager, one of the considerations that you have when you're putting together a suicide squeeze is your pitcher. Do you think he's going to be around the plate? Because I mean that's important. You need to get a good pitch to try and put down, because you're going to try and show late. Deception's a big part of a squeeze. But with Matt Cain, you know he's always around the plate.
1-2 on the foul out of play. So it's 1-2 to Pete Kozma. Cain is allowed 4 runs here in the fourth. He's trying very hard to limit it to the 4 runs. And that breaking ball. And Buster thought it hit the bat. It's 2-2. This looked like it came closer to hitting the sleeve of Pete Kozma. So Kozma waiting on Cain. The target is in, and this is a little pop-up, and Scudero is not going to get it, and it's going to fall in for a hit, and it's 5-2, and Matt Cain, tough break on that one.
And we talked about Cosmo being one of the hot guys in this lineup, and you know that's a hit that you get when you're hot. But it really keeps the line moving here through this inning, and right now the Giants cannot seem to find that second out. Just a tweener between Scudero and Pence.
So here's Wainwright, who's the one that benefits most from this inning. And he'll bunt this one to Posey. And that'll bring up John Jay. John Jay opened up this inning with a base hit. And the first pitch is high, 1 ball and no strikes. Wide, 2-0.
Maharis, the lefty, is ready. Matt Carpenter, the left-handed hitter, on deck.
And it's 3-0.
King digging deep.
And the walk. And now Bruce Bochy's got to make a decision.
It's not easy for him to go out there and get Kane. He's going to give him one more.
Carpenter singled in this inning. So the bases are loaded. Wigington, Cosma, and Jay. And that's a strike, and it's 0-1.
Talked about the history that Carpenter has had against Matt Cain. It's all been his way. You know he sees him well.
Two.
The backdoor cutter. Now you dig deep. 62 pitches on the day for Kane. And he really has to reach down for this one. Try and kill this inning.
He backs Carpenter off the plate, and it's 1-2.
He almost hit the elbow of Carpenter. Now they set that target in the inside corner, and that gives you a little indication there's some fatigue on this inning, as you can imagine. The thing you fear, if you're a pitching coach early in the year, is when you have a guy have to go into the 30 pitch level or more in an inning, because you just don't have the same type of strength in April that you have in July or June. Again, he tries the inside corner. And now that's going to start the runners.
Three and two, runners on the move. And a base hit to right field. That'll knock in a pair as Carpenter comes through. And it's now 7-2, and that's it. Bruce Bochy now has to come and get Matt Cain.
Yeah, it's not a walk that Bruce Bochy makes very often when the horse is out there.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog expert. Inning for the Cardinals, knocking Matt Cain out of the box, bringing Jose Mijares into the game. Facing Alan Craig. Buster Posey does a good job of actually didn't have to do anything. It hit Craig on the foot.
Take a look at the numbers for Jose Mijares. Been kind of off to a slow start in a couple of games. It's 2/3 of an inning. Outing down in LA, didn't really fare well. Still looking for that consistency with his fastball command.
Beltran takes a strike.
Mijares had the interrupted spring with an injury early in camp and just really a little bit behind. Normally when you see his fastball, it's 90, 93 or 4. The hard slider.
Chad Godin now down in the bullpen getting loose. That'll be a base hit to left field. The back runner, Carpenter, is going to try to score. He will score. And now it's a 9-run inning.
I don't know if I've ever seen a 9-run inning here. All 9 of those runs are Matt Cain's. And it has not been a barrage of extra base hit, just the one, the bases loaded double by Matt Adams.
So here's Yadier Molina. Molina single in the 4th inning. And a breaking ball, and it's now 0-2. Out of play.
That's a good 0-2 pitch right there. And a pretty nice job of defending the strike zone for Molina to fight that thing off. But that's really where you see a guy start to get his act together, is when he can get command of that slider again, because it takes a lot of strength out of your arm to throw the slider. It takes more strength to throw a slider than it does a fastball.
Minute half inning here in the 4th.
Your legs start to get a little heavy if you're out there on defense.
SLN inning. Giants have some work to do. Yes, they do. But this crowd is still into it. It's 9-2 Cardinals.
Beautiful ring, all broadcast, and you have a chance to get one as well. A player's ring, a coach's ring, same size, man size. You just have to enter the World Series ring raffle. Now you can only do this online. It's at sfgiants.com/ring raffle, and I actually have a real live winner from the 2010 World Series. Amy Gamble, you entered the raffle in 2011, and show us what you got. Tell us a little bit about why you decided to actually pull the trigger and spend some dough on some raffle tickets.
I was born and raised a Giants fan, and I knew it went towards charity, so I thought it was a win-win, and I won.
The minimum purchase is just $10. So for $10, you can enter the raffle at the website that I mentioned, and the charity that Amy's talking about is the Giants Community Fund. So all the money benefits the Giants Community Fund. Let's take a better look at that. This actually has her name on it, and it's a real player's ring, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the same as what the players got with my name engraved on the side.
What kind of reaction do you get when you wear it?
Honestly, I get chills. That makes me nervous.
Just hold that right there, because we're going to get a beautiful shot of it. Now, that, of course, is the 2010 World Series ring. You now have a chance to win a 2012 World Series ring, the one that we've been showing you. Again, sfgiants.com/ring raffle. Just $10, and all the money goes to the Giants Community Fund. And Dwayne and Mike, this is Amanda. and that's Amy's sister. She says she's going to win it this year. So I don't know. You better get in there right now, and you can join the raffle through June 9th, so you have some time. Thanks, guys.
If she wins it again, there needs to be an investigation.
Well, she's going to enter again. No question about that.
Here's Belt. That is pretty cool when you think about it. And look, the Giants Community Fund came out very well on this raffle. Wayne right now with a 7-run lead. He can flip just about anything up there right now and feel pretty good about it.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, you don't have to worry about shaving a strike zone. You can go right out of here and totally put the pressure on him.
Hit right back to Wainwright, and that'll be out number 2.
All right, we're going to answer our AT&T trivia question. Can you name the 4 players in Major League history to have a career 280-plus average, 300-plus home runs, and 300 stolen bases? And our survey said, well, Carlos Beltran did it, Barry Bonds did it, Willie Mays did it, and A-Rod did it. Our AT&T trivia question. A pretty good foursome right there.
Here's Blanco. Yeah, here's Blanco takes high. Blanco had a fly ball to the left in the second.
Blanco doing what you need to do. Get some pitches out of Wainwright. Try and get in that Cardinal bullpen.
Blanco sends a souvenir foul down the right field line.
Somebody brought his glove. Boy, they needed one on that play. I had some steam going into the bleachers. Oh, yeah, that's a panda look we haven't seen.
Oh, they get one of those.
Get that. I want to get that. I want to get that.
Let's see you teeing off next winter with one of those on.
Oh, yeah. I can see you going down the slopes wearing that bad boy.
No, that slopes are done. 3 balls and 1 strike.
I'm talking about going down your driveway.
Gotcha.
It's downhill.
It is a big slope. You're right. 3-2 to Blanco. Crawford on deck. Molina coming back, and that'll end the inning. So a 1-2-3 inning for Wainwright. We'll head to the 5th. All Cardinals 9-2 St. Louis.
area is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit HEPINS.com.
9-2 Cardinals. Fifth inning, it'll be Matt Adams to lead things off. Wigington to follow. And Mijares throws that pitch high.
Nice 2-0 location with a fastball. Mijares likes that third base side of the rubber. Or first base side, I beg your pardon. And he likes that side, especially the right-handers, because he thinks in the eye of the left-handed hitter.
They sit over Sandoval.
It makes his fastball have cut. And if it's cutting away from you, that's the way you want to hit it. The opposite way. So Adams with an impressive at-bat. And that'll bring the skipper.
So Chad Godin is going to be asked to quiet things down when it's time for a change. Think speedy. Oil change and tune-up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. We'll be back.
Presented by authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LP.
Well, if you just turned on the TV, shame on you. And then, 9-2 Cardinals. Chad Godin now facing Ty Wigington.
You see his numbers. An outstanding debut as a Giant. Down in Los Angeles, 2 innings, 6 ups, and faced the minimum. He did allow a hit, 1 strikeout. We saw a fastball, low 90s fastball with good movement. He can definitely sink the ball. Hard slider, strike thrower, works quick.
Foul back, 0-2.
Ain't afraid to come in. Andres Torres now goes out to left. He'll hit the 9th spot. The pitcher spot in the lineup is number 7. So Blanco out of the ball game.
Oh, 0-2. Adams at first. Nobody out. Got him.
Just nice little second stage movement. It's got a hop on it, and his hop will bore into a right-handed hitter. And they say when you're taking a bat off Godin, I mean, if it's 92, it looks like it's more when it hops at you.
So here's Cosmo, who knocked in a run in the 4th inning. If you didn't knock one in the 4th, then you scored one. The only exception to that was Adam Wainwright, who popped out trying to bunt. Matter of fact, Jay and Carpenter combined in that 4th inning scored 4 times. One ball and 1 strike to Cosmo.
Nice tight little quick slider, perfect location.
And that pop-up is lifted out of play. It's 1-2. Wainwright is on deck. 1 out here in the 5th. Pagan moving over towards right center field will put it away. And Wainwright will hit for the 3rd time. He's 0 for 2.
Well, if you're a pitcher and you have a chance to go for 3 in the first 5 innings of the ball game, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, you got to be pretty happy about that. Wainwright says I could have gone all day without doing that. It's no balls and 1 strike.
Now pitchers are they're not used to whacking one off their feet.
Oh, right off the shin, right above the left calf.
I think that's even worse. You think about that the rest of the at bat, maybe in the rest of the ride home.
Out of play, 0-2.
94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Come on. He's bringing it up there pretty good.
You know, I mean, and we didn't know he had that much fastball until we saw him in spring. Nice addition to this Giants bullpen. There's the winner of the foul ball contest. Hey, Princess is here.
Breaking ball in tight, 1-2. John Jay, the leadoff hitter, is on deck. And Wainwright gets a little of his own business. The big breaking ball. 9-2 Cardinals. U-verse rewind. And the highlights of the ring ceremony. You saw the rings come into the yard, and then the Hall of Famers, the players. Hunter Pence, the Panda. And you know what? They earned it.
Oh, yes, they did. Well, the 2012 San Francisco Giants Championship Collection for fans is available, and this collection is made up of an assortment of commemorative pieces, including personalized championship fan rings, earrings, cufflinks, charms, and much, much more. The collection is exclusively sold at all Bay Area Giants dugout stores and through sfgiants.com/fanring. Check it out. Spectacular.
Here's Crawford. Crawford takes a fastball for a call strike. Those are the ones that were handed out today.
40,000 of those rings were handed out today, and they're fantastic.
Very nice looking.
Well, I think everybody who followed the Giants last year would like to have something to remind themselves of what a great time that was.
This is pulled foul.
And when you think back about all the memories, including the parade, it's hard to forget. You don't want to forget. But if you're a player, you have to. You got to get on.
Crawford got a piece. Molina hangs on. It's a strikeout. This is a pin, a World Series championship pin from 1905. This is 1921. So 22 they started making rings. This is 1933. The 1954 World Series ring. Willie Mays has one of those. As Torres pulls it foul. Here's 2010. And the one today. No balls and a strike to Andres Torres. 0-2.
First time I saw the 1954 ring was on a pitching coach that I had with the Cubs, Marv Grissom, who passed away not too long ago. Lived in Red Bluff. And when he started talking about the Giants, the room would always get quiet because he didn't talk a whole lot. But when he spoke from the heart. And that 1944 or 54 team was one that he never forgot. And he really, really wore that ring with great pride.
Torres takes high, 1-2.
Marv Grissom was one of those pitching coaches that when he threw batting practice to the pitchers, and if you hit him too hard, he'd knock you down.
Yeah, old school. And for Torres, a base hit to right field over the leaping Carpenter. And that'll bring up Pagan.
Well, for the Giants, you have to chip away, down 7 runs. You have to get them all back at once, but you're in the 5th inning here. You need to start making some noise. 1 here, 2 here. Put up a crooked number next inning. You never know. Get this fan base back into this game. There's only one way to do it, and you got to start swinging the bats.
Pagan tripled in the first, doubled in the third. Here he takes it in tight, and it's 2-0. Wainwright at the belt, and it's 3-0 to Pagan. So hey, look, some base runners. You get a couple of bloops, get a blast. Scudero is on deck. Three and one.
Pagan taking all the way. You just have to do little things now when you're down by 7. Get some pitches out of that starting pitcher. He's in him with a long inning. They can make mistakes.
Carpenter to Cosma. Not in time. Pagan beats it out. Here's our Geico quote. It's from Marco Scudero on going to the World Series. He said, "The rain never felt so good. We're going to the World Series. This is unbelievable."
I will never forget that day. I mean, we'd never seen anything like it.
Everybody wet, nobody cared.
No, didn't even feel it.
Scudero takes a strike. He's 0 for 2. And this is tapped foul. It's no balls and 2 strikes.
When you're slumping, what's the first thing that happens to you after 2 pitches?
0-2.
Always. You never see any mistake out of the middle of the plate. It seems like everything's carving up the corners, both sides of the plate. If you look in, they throw away. If you look away, they throw in. You look hard, they throw soft. You look soft, they throw hard. Wainwright trying to go with that little slider in the outside corner, similar to the pitch that he struck out Scudero on back in the first inning. It's really one of the big weapons of Wainwright, that hard slider. Got great command with it.
Look out. And they had that great command that time.
Well, they set the target in the outside corner. It would be hard for me to believe that they were trying to send a message for any reason. You can see where the target was, and that just becomes a heat seeker up around the head. And sometimes one of those will get a guy out of a funk.
And on the ground to Carpenter, and that'll end the inning. 6th inning coming up.
may have noticed that the Cardinals are wearing a patch on their uniforms with the number 6. That is to honor the late and great Hall of Fame Cardinal Stan the Man Musial, who passed away this past January at the age of 92. Some of his accolades: a 24-time All-Star, 3-time MVP, and he had 3,630 hits in his 22-year career as a St. Louis Cardinal. Manager Bruce Bochy of the Giants actually knew him fairly well. Met him when he was with the Padres and told me today that he has a picture of him and Stan at his office at home. Stan loved to talk baseball, and he loved to play the harmonica to entertain people. Dwayne and Mike, probably the best part of Stan's story: he died after 70 years of marriage to his wife Lillian, who passed just 7 months before him. I think he wanted to go see her. Gentlemen?
Probably right.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the greatest I've ever met in the game. You talk about a gentleman and just a humble man. I mean, with all that he had accomplished, not just in the game, but in life, an icon in the St. Louis area, but all around in the world of baseball. He was just a humble man. He was just fun to be around. He laughed quick, told a story, loved to break out the harmonica.
Nice play by Crawford as Carpenter now steps up. Carpenter fouls it back. 0-2.
It's amazing how quickly you can gain the confidence of a fan base as a new pitcher in a new city. And Godin has done that in 2 outings.
High with Alan Craig to follow.
Come on, Chad, shut it down.
Dan taking care of those shoelaces. Carpenter steps back in. Carpenter picked up 2 hits, scored 2 runs, and knocked in 2, all in the 4th inning. And the 2-2 is hit out of play. Carpenter will give you a battle.
I haven't seen him take a bat at bat yet.
And they're going to say he went around. He's not buying it. Two strikeouts now for Godin.
All right, let's see. Did he go? Hard slider down and in. Oh, absolutely. Hits that ball. It's out of the ballpark. Kind of.
Here's Alan Craig. And a breaking ball for a strike, and it's 0-1. He's got good stuff, Mr. Godin.
You know, plus there's a little spookiness to him. Every once in a while, he'll just uncork one, and it'll go right into you. Not by design, but I mean, they have a little respect and a little fear when a guy hits against you. That's a good thing. What did Sandy Koufax say? Pitching is intimidation.
Oh, 0-2.
Gamer babe. No question. 100%er.
In that direction again. foul.
I think the guy used his hat to make this play. Yep, she's pumped up. Yeah.
That's right. If he's not going to give it to me, I'm going to take it. 0-2. On the ground is Sandoval. And that'll end the inning. Godin 6 up, 6 down. Pablo Sandoval leads things off 9-2 Cardinals. The bottom of the 6th. Sandoval, Posey, Pence. Sandoval knocked in a run with a base hit in the 3rd inning. And he's got another hit. This one will roll out to Ellen Craig, and Sandoval is 2 for 3.
Well, time now for our Solar Company electrifying play of the week. And you want electricity? How about watching the ceremony where the Giants hung the flag that celebrates their 2nd World Championship in 3 years? Brought to them by the San Francisco Fire Department. It was carried onto the field by the fans. They handed it off to the players, and this is what was hung. What a great moment. That's our Solar Company electrifying play of the week.
Here's Buster Posey. Buster Posey has bounced out to Wigington at 3rd twice.
I mean, there's a lot of new flags here at the ballpark. And they're all on top of the stands on the 3rd base side, all the way out to behind home plate to right field. We have a winner. And those new flags tell the story of the Giants. The pennants they've won, the world championships they've won, the all-star games they've hosted. Oh, yeah.
Made for each other.
Mad Hatter's here.
0-2 to Posey.
It's a late call. Tell you what, though, if you're a pitcher and you take a lot of time on the mound in the stretch position, you can't be mad at that.
Posey digs it out, and it's foul on the third baseline.
Nice play. Oh, yeah. And she appreciates it, too.
Little check swing bloop. Foul.
Well, the Rockies are coming to San Francisco. That's right. Their first visit of the year starts tomorrow, runs through Wednesday, and Monday, April 8th, it's Magnet Schedule Night presented by Remax, first 20,000 fans. Then Tuesday, April 9th is the Giants World Champions Snow Globe Night presented by Comcast Sportsnet to the first 20,000 fans. Then it's good old-fashioned midweek day baseball at 12:45 start on Wednesday. And you can get tickets for as low as $8. Go to sfgiants.com to get your tickets.
Possible double play ball. It'll be Carpenter to Cosma. And that is a pair. 2 down here in the 6th.
That ball came up on Carpenter, the second baseman. That was a pretty nice play. Everything is going good to watch this thing come up on him, and good spring and bounce of the knees allows you to soft hand it. Once he caught it, it was an easy turn. That ball was hit sharply.
Here's Pence. Pence has bounced out and struck out. Belt to follow. Bottom of the 6th inning. And there's a shot into the alleyway. And Pence has got extra bases. And here's Belt. Off to a nice start, Hunter Pence.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a nice season. He's swinging the bat well since he showed up in spring training.
Big curveball in for a strike.
Oh, that's a generous strike. Here's some boos here in the stands. I'm not sure where it was caught, if it was a strike, but when it went past the hitter, it probably was.
Chad Godin is on deck. One and two.
Good hard cutter. That's one. Even if you hit that ball, you probably beat it into your leg. I go right back down there again.
And Belt. Wainwright pulls the string, Belt out in front, and that's his 5th strikeout.
deck? No way!
All right, here's our Toyota game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. And Wainwright allowed 2 runs in the third, and then Matt Cain, very un-Matt Cain-like, dropped the 9 spot. The Cardinals did on Cain in the 4th. It was a big 4th. See what the Cardinals have done with runners in scoring position. That is off the charts. Here's Beltran, Molina, and Adams here in the 7th. Beltran on the ground sharply to Scudero, and on 1 pitch. Beltran is retired. And here's Molina.
You know, it's just a little simple technique, but kids, if you bobble a ball, the one thing you do is you separate your hands. Let the ball drop. You know what it's going to be. He bobbles it, he separates the hand. Now he goes down with a bare hand, and that's the technique. Worked perfectly. A lot of times you see young players, they try to pick the ball up after they drop it with a glove, and it's hard to do.
Yeah, you can't panic. The other side of the diamond, you got to pick up the pace a little bit.
Yeah, you do have the luxury of having a little time to find that ball as a second baseman, much more so than the third baseman or shortstop. You're right.
One and one to Molina. Hunter Pence moving back and over. 2 outs.
Well, a reminder to stay up to date on everything Giants. Well, go to CSNBayArea.com's insider, Andrew Baggerly. You can follow Bags on Twitter at CSNBags, or log on to CSNBayArea.com all season long and read Andrew's news and notes on the Giants. They are fantastic. He is an insider that truly gets it. Plus, his future's so bright he has to wear shades.
Here's Adams. Adams goes the other way, and it is into the seats. How about our insider had a long night and he has to wear shades?
I don't think they've written a song about that, but I think I'd buy that record.
Adams has been impressive today. He's 2 for 3.
Product out of Slippery Rock University, Pennsylvania. He's got great credentials. A lot of power out of the minor leagues at 318. Look at his numbers: 22 homers in 2010, 32 in 2011, 20 last year, combined minor league and at the big league level, and not a lot of strikeouts.
And that's his 3rd hit, and the first hit by any Cardinal off of Chad Godin. And that'll bring up Ty Wigington.
The Giants definitely do not have him figured out yet. He is a puzzle.
Wigington with a swing and a miss.
When you look at numbers, guys coming out of the minor leagues, when you see their power numbers that are high, a lot of extra base hits, a lot of home runs, I tell you, most of the time you look at the strikeout totals and they're high. And every once in a while you get one to come out of there that doesn't have high strikeout numbers, and he's got power numbers, and guess what? It catches everybody's attention. And that's the type of reputation that Adams came out of the minor leagues with.
Yeah, you mentioned trying to figure out Adams as Wigington strikes out. May 31st, Giants will be in St. Louis for a 3-game series.
Bay Area is brought to you by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Welcome back. Cardinals lead 9-2 in the bottom of the 7th here at the Giants game. And we've got an AVG's Giants exclusive up and ready for folks at csnberry.com. Today I caught up with former Giant Benji Molina, who's now an assistant hitting coach with the Cardinals. We talk about what it's like for him to be with his brother Yadier all year round. And guys, he shares what his favorite part about being a San Francisco Giant was. He was a good Giant. Benji Molina, csnberry.com. Dwayne?
Yes, he was.
And he talks about the relationship he had with the fans here. He says they showed me a lot of respect. I really felt like that I was a Giant because of the fans here. I mean, he's a very soulful guy, and family means the world to him. And the way that he was received here in San Francisco is something he'll never forget. The ovation he got on opening day was fantastic. Giants not only gave him a long one, there are a lot of people here that stood up. Mike Aldretti, a former Giant, was announced, got a nice applause. Mike Matheny, the skipper of the Cardinals, a former Giant, got a nice applause. And players notice that, folks. And it means something when you play here and you come back and they don't forget you.
Shane Robinson is the new right fielder as Nick Noonan's at the plate. It's getting to the point where Amy G is so popular here she can hardly walk through the stands. I especially think the one on the far right, that fan, that one right there is most intrigued by Amy G.
Yeah. He was screaming and miserable till she got close to him. Calmed him right down.
1-1 to Noonan. Nick Noonan in the big leagues, 0 for 2.
Yeah, he needs to get his big league average going. I mean, that'd be a nice bright spot today. Get Nick Noonan his first big league knock.
Alan Craig puts it away. Noonan retired, 1 out. And here's Crawford. Shane Robinson now in right field. Beltran takes the rest of the afternoon off. I mentioned the Giants will be in St. Louis May 31st and then June 1 and 2. It's a 3-game series, a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
It should be a pretty good time to go there weather-wise.
And then, Mike, they come home, and we've been with the Giants a long time. Players, broadcasters, they come home for the longest road trip that I've ever been associated with the Giants.
How many days?
2.
Toronto Blue Jays coming to town for a 2-day homestand.
2.
Then is back on the road. Well, it is a crazy schedule this year.
Crawford 1 for 2. It's this one towards the hole, and from the outfield grass, Carpenter will throw to Wainwright. 2 outs.
How about the Giants in September this year go back east to New York, and they're there for a week. They play 3 against the Mets, 3 against the Yankees. Never seen that before.
The Cardinals have their home opener tomorrow against, you could call them Joey Votto's Reds, Dusty Baker's Reds. You can call them whatever you want. In our mind, it's Marty Brennaman's Reds.
That's true. That is a very good point. Marty Brennaman, the Hall of Fame broadcaster for the Reds, who's been there a long time.
So that'll be tomorrow in St. Louis, an afternoon game.
I want to talk about that road trip in September for the Giants, because they start off with 4 in Los Angeles. Then they have an off day, and then they go to the Mets, and then they go to the Yankees. So 11 days on the road. The last 7 of them in the same hotel room in New York. And I've never seen that. where you stay all 7 days in one hotel during the season. I mean, that's something you do in spring training.
One ball, 2 strikes. And Wainwright strikes out Torres to end the inning. 6 strikeouts for Wainwright. We'll head to the 8th. It's 9-2 Cardinals.
Collection for fans. This collection is made up of an assortment of commemorative pieces, including personalized championship fan rings, earrings, cufflinks, charms, and more. The collection is exclusively sold at all Bay Area Giants dugout stores and through sfgiants.com/fanring.
It's 9-2 Cardinals. Lopez to pitch the 8th inning when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts. There's a call strike. Also, Mike, with that championship collection, they have paperweights, keychains. You see Hector Sanchez. Best thing to do is go to sfgiants.com/fanring. And you can get the whole menu. Noonan at short.
Well, she has not lost the faith. She's got the best seat in the house.
They're not happy though.
At least she's warm.
Giants led 2-0. This is hit foul. And then after the next half inning, they trailed 9-2.
An unusual 9 spot, especially when you talk about a start that's taken by Matt Cain. He had retired the first 9 in a row. And everybody here was starting to look around going, he might do this again.
He's done it another time where he allowed 9 runs in a start, and it was against the Cardinals.
But they all didn't happen in one inning.
I'm not sure what's better. Spread it out or just give it all up in one inning.
It's 9-run outing is not good.
Full count to Pete Kozma. Judging by my scorecard, the Cardinals have had hits in the 4th, 5th, and 7th. That's it. But he had 8 hits in the 4th. Sandoval, a tricky hop. 1 out.
The importance of having quick feet. And it really shows up on this play by Sandoval. Third base, I mean, the ball gets on you so quick, you have to be able to react to it, and you have to be able to react to it with your feet. And watch how this thing comes up, and watch what he does with his legs. Just a little short crow hop with both feet, braces himself, regains his balance, and makes the plays.
Here's Ryan Jackson, a pinch hitter. Jackson, an infielder. He's had 1 at bat this year, and he struck out. At the knees to Ryan Jackson, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Mike, if you don't like that idea of 7 nights in New York in the same hotel, we could, at some point halfway through the week, switch hotels. So that was not a complaint. It was just an oddity.
Just an observation, a true oddity. Just doesn't happen. Although it has happened here in the Bay Area when teams come in to play the Giants and the schedule maker allows them to go play Oakland after they play the Giants.
Hit out to Hunter Pence.
So you do see it on occasion. You could stay in the same hotel in Chicago and play both the White Sox and the Cubs.
I've actually gone an entire trip to a city, maybe 2 nights, 3 nights, and not had maid service. That'll not happen in New York.
No, 7 days without maid service. That would be bad.
Here's John Jay, who takes a call strike.
Oh yeah, she's got her special Giant shirt on.
Pink one.
She's got her ring day smile going.
42,202 watched that ring ceremony. Outside corner, 1 and 2. There's the ring that she got today. And that's just foul. Javier Lopez threw that one from down under, and John Jay hung in there pretty good.
Played with Bobby Mercer in Chicago, and he used to say when he was going bad, he wanted to face some lefty that threw from the side like that because it made him lock that front shoulder in. And for Jay, who's been struggling, he had a pretty solid front side on that hack. He had to be, and he just missed an extra bagger by about a foot.
Sandoval had this one come up, and with the speed of Jay, that'll be an error. Second error in the game. Magan had one in the 4th inning.
Oh, this had some spinach on it.
Yeah.
And there's the bobble, and once you get that with Jay, you don't get a second chance, especially from third base.
Here's Carpenter. Carpenter's had 2 hits, and then his other 2 at bats, he's had some issues with Doug Eddings.
Well, I think her sister just won her lottery.
Yeah, she didn't win the ring, but she got the ball.
Amanda, nice play.
I'm going to go to maybe Las Vegas with those 2.
Well, not a bad call.
Pagan now has to race in, and it's going to fall in front of him. And they're going to wave in Jay. And here's the throw home. And it's going to be late. So it'll be a double for Carpenter. Pagan got fooled a little bit and then couldn't make up for it.
Well, I think sometimes that is the toughest play for a center fielder. When the ball comes straight at you, you expect more fly ball. And then when you get a changeup like that one, you just don't have enough time to regroup. So it becomes a 3-hit day for Carpenter.
Here's Alan Craig. So that'll be an unearned run charged to Javier Lopez. Down low, 2-0. Robinson is on deck. Off of Noonan's glove, and here comes Carpenter. He's going to score. It'll be a base hit for Alan Craig. Stay tuned immediately after Giants baseball for Esurance Giants postgame live highlights, reaction, and analysis. It's all coming up right after the game.
George Contos heading down the Giants bullpen.
Here's Robinson.
One thing you're worried about if you're a manager or a pitching coach is you get a guy out there, all of a sudden a couple of errors and a couple of doink hits, and all of a sudden you look at the pitch count in a single inning and it gets a little large. And the Giants are in a stretch of their season early on. They're not going to see another off day till the 15th of April.
Scudero got a tricky hop, and that'll end the inning. Top of the order coming up. It's 11-2. Cardinals.
11-2 Cardinals as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. New pitcher now for St. Louis will be the left-hander Mark Zepchinski. And very quickly, Pagan takes strike one. Remember, when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Zepchinski off to a good start. 3 hits, 4 strikeouts, 1 hit. And a little two-hopper right to Jackson, who just checks in at second base on the double switch with Angel Pagan now being retired. So it's a 2-for-4 day for Pagan. And with 1 out, that'll bring up Marco Scudero, still looking for a hit today. He's been hitting a little bit of a scuffle. Got an 0.91 average going right now. That's not Marco Scudero-like.
And Scudero right now taking at bats like it's spring training. Try to figure it out. Eddings calls that pitch high, 1 or make it 2 balls and no strikes.
Zepchinski is one of those guys that it's kind of like Affeldt, and you're going to see low 90s fastballs with sink, hard slider. He'll throw a changeup on occasion, but basically you're going to see hard stuff, fastball, slider, but a lot of ground balls. But he is also a guy that can get a strikeout. But we had to go to school to figure out how to pronounce his name.
Right back to where it came from. 2 outs. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy?
Well, Dwayne, as you two well know, this has been a weekend of celebrations, and yesterday Buster Posey received his National League MVP award. Manager Bruce Bochy talking about the poise Buster has at such a young age. Of course, Buster saying he was honored to be in the company of other Giants MVPs like Kevin Mitchell, Jeff Kent, Willie McCovey, and Willie Mays. Buster thanked everyone from his trainers and teammates to his family, and of course the fans. And fun little tidbit, our own CSN senior insider Ray Ratto had the honor of giving Buster the award. He is the president of the Bay Area chapter of the Baseball Writers Association. That's why he got to do it. Dwayne?
All right, good stuff. Anytime we can mention Ray Ratto, that's a plus. 11-2 Cardinals. Really? As tonight, tip-off will be right around the top of the hour at 5 o'clock. Pregame live at 4:30. Warriors are back at Oracle as they push to get into the playoffs. So check it out right here on Comcast Sportsnet, Bay Area. All Cardinals this afternoon. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
The pitcher for the Giants will be George Cantos. 4th time that he has come into a ball game. Those are his numbers. Cantos really has been throwing a lot better than what that ERA would lead you to believe.
Here's Molina, who takes a pitch down low. Molina 1 for 4 this afternoon. Tony Cruz is on deck. And Molina has got a leadoff single here in the 9th. And here's Cruz.
So Mike Matheny getting everybody off the Cardinal bench. I think that's important this time of year. It's important the whole year, but I think early in the year, some guys who are not getting a lot of playing time, they can get forgotten. At bats are hard to find.
First at bat of the year for Cruz as he waves at Cantos's slider, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
The only Giant who has not seen any action yet is Guillermo Quiroz. Giants are carrying 3 catchers.
Another slider and another swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Down low. Tune in to Murph and Mac, the morning show on KNBR tomorrow morning. Mike will talk about the game with the fellas on KNBR 680, the sports leader. Should have check out Cruz's pants. Every once in a while you'll see a new wrinkle in how guys wear their uniforms. Now you pull the pant legs up, right? But you roll them up.
Well, that's a new look. The socks are not new. I mean, that has been part of the Cardinal uniform for ever.
But you usually roll them up on the inside, right?
I mean, that's what you do with kids. But, you know, catchers can get away with that.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
And the guy rolls him up. Maybe it's a catcher thing.
Three and 2. Nobody out here in the 9th.
The traditional leggings of the Cardinals. When I first came into organized baseball in 1973 with the Cubs, we played the Cardinals at every level. And back then, it was mandatory. You had to show the legs. A lot of tradition in that Cardinal uniform. Cardinals across the chest. They haven't made many changes in their uniform over the years. It's really one of the classic unis. Joe Kelly, the right-hander, flamethrower, starting to get heated up. He will pitch the bottom of the 9th.
Here's Ty Wigington. Wigington lifts one down the right field line. Pence is going to run out of room. That's a souvenir. And it's no balls and one strike.
We have a winner. It's great when balls go in the stands. It's usually old baseball players they catch them, but if they fall into the stands, it's usually old football players that get them off the ground. I don't know why that is. Just an observation.
Fumble.
Good pitch.
Strike to Wigington. Kozma, the Cardinal shortstop, is on deck. Over Noonan and into left field, a base hit. So that'll load the bases. Cardinals appear not to be done yet. Here's Pete Kozma.
Well, right now, if you're George Contos, I mean, you're getting a little panic going here. You got bases loaded, nobody out. Two things relievers do not like to see, and one is a non-adrenaline outing, which is like now. But you also hate to know that that's your inning, and there are no help.
Hit out to Hunter Pence. Pence will put it away. And coming in to score is Molina. And that makes it 12-2.
And Santiago Casillas starts to get heated up. And you also know, as a reliever, the other thing they don't like is when you have an outing where you give up 5 or 6 runs. I mean, that's disaster for a reliever, because it takes you 2 months to work those numbers off your stats. It's a Brian Wilson fan.
And then you're really not allowed to have another one like that.
No.
Here's Ryan Jackson, who takes a slider for a strike. And Doug Eddings is going to move this game along. As he said, Jackson went around. It's 0-2. John Jay is on deck.
Seagulls are waiting. Been much written about the Seagull problem here. And Joe LaFay had an interesting take about the Seagulls. In one of the games against the A's in the Bay Bridge series, the last 3 games of spring training, the Seagulls came in about the 7th inning when the fans sort of filed out. And nice strikeout there from Contos. And Joe LaFay said, well, I think the Seagull problem is part our fault, because if we're not playing good ball, people are going to go home early. People go home early, these birds are going to get hungry and they're going to want to feed. We want to keep them out of the stands and out of the ballpark. We need to play good ball, keep people in their seats. And that's kind of how baseball players look at it.
Here's John Jay. Reached on a Sandoval error in the 8th inning. Has scored 3 times today. Santos high, 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, what is the most important stat for a leadoff man? Well, there's 2: on base percentage and runs scored. So from his perspective, he's had a good day. Scored 3 times. Zepchinski on deck. He's praying he gets to hit.
And Cantos comes in with a strike to make it 3-1. And this is going to roll and roll and roll. 2 runs are going to score. Jay is going to have a triple. And it's 14-2. A 3-1 pitch right where Jay liked it.
Well, out over the plate and up. Easiest place to defend. And that is right where he likes it. And for a guy who's been looking for a swing, that's the type of location that gets you well. And when it finds Triple's alley, good luck.
So here's Zepchinski. And he takes a strike.
I should look up and see if this guy has an at bat.
Yeah. The 0-1. Dribbled foul, 0-2.
Nope.
This is his debut?
This is his debut.
Covering up.
Yeah, they are seagull smart.
Almost to the backstop. It's 1-2.
Yeah, there's your confirmation. First big leg at bat.
Side retired. 3 runs here in the 9th. It's 14-2 Cardinals. Tonight at 8 or after Warriors postgame live right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Scott Reese and Henry Wolford, they will host Sportsnet Central. Talk about the Warriors, talk about the Cal women and the Sharks. Sharks are hot. 14-2. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
The pitcher for the Cardinals is Joe Kelly, who has been rocked a little bit early on in this 2013 season. But if you like fastballs, you have come to the right place, because Joe Kelly has got a big league fastball. It'll go mid to high 90s. And he's got rid of the 4 pitches that you would see from a starter, which is basically what he was in the minor leagues. Curveball, slider, changeup. I mean, he'll throw everything at you.
Strike to Hector Sanchez, batting for the first time. Cruz is now catching. Molina moves from behind the dish to first base.
Joe Kelly out of UC Riverside. Same program that Dan Runzler came out of.
Well, he's built like a shortstop, but he's got a great arm.
When he was in college, he told everybody that he was a distant relative of Machine Gun Kelly. Just making it up.
That'll work, though.
They found out that he was not telling the truth, but the nickname stuck. He's now he's Machine Gun. Machine Gun Kelly.
Easy football players.
Yeah, I'm telling you. The baseball players catch them. The football players get them off the ground.
Bounced down the ground. It's Molina throwing to Kelly a bit high, but everything's all right. And Sanchez is retired. And here's Hunter Pence. Pence doubled in the 6th. And he wraps this one foul. Belt on deck. Tomorrow it'll be, well, first of all, let's just make this announcement. There will be no ceremonies that we know of before the game tomorrow. Not 100% sure on that, but we're going to go out on a limb. And then it'll be Jorge De La Rosa against Madison Bumgarner. And that would be the Colorado Rockies coming in for 3. And this is hit to Jackson at second, and Pence is retired.
Well, tomorrow the Giants are going to host the first of a 3-game set with the Colorado Rockies. Game time 7 p.m. You can see the pregame live at 6:30 right here on Comcast Sports in the Bay Area. Complete Giants coverage every night on Sportsnet Central and CSNBayArea.com. So join us if you would. Madison Bumgarner are going to be on the hill tomorrow night. There's a baby giraffe fan.
The Tuesday game, Juan Nicasio against Tim Lincecum. And then the Wednesday afternoon game, it'll be a pair of lefties, Jeff Francis against Barry Zito. You mentioned 7 nights in New York. Giants will have 5 nights in Chicago.
That's a good thing.
Here's the 1-1 to Belt. Belt's going to have a base hit. And Belt's got an average.
Yeah, he's been waiting for a base hit. Get out of the 0-0-0 column. So with 1 swing of the bat, he's at 071. Still on the bingo card. The fans who love this kid, give him a cheer. That a bit. Right, let's take a look. How's he do it? Belt high location out over the plate. Does what you're supposed to do with that. Pin arm swing. Nice shot.
So you got the first hit of the year for Belt, and maybe Noonan the first hit of his career. It's a good swing, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
Oh yeah, the baby giraffe, pretty excited. I've not seen that one.
Noonan, base hit. And the first one in his career.
Now, I'll tell you what, that swing of the bat right there will do a lot to uplift the spirits in the Giants clubhouse. He's a guy that 6 years in the minor leagues earned his way up to the big leagues the hard way. Did not miss a level or a step. 100% Giants product. And now he has got himself a big league base hit and a batting average. Nice going, Nick Noonan. And let's take a look at it. They sit up on the outside corner. And you go with the outside pitch the way you're taught. Head stays down through the swing. Good distribution of weight. Great balance. And there's your reward.
Here's Guillermo Quiroz. And he takes a breaking ball outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Quiroz does have some time in the big leagues. Very, very good defensive catcher. He's from Venezuela. Two outs, 2 on. Look out. And a base hit. And Belt's going to come in to score. 3 straight singles. And Quiroz with his first hit of the year.
That may have grazed Joe Kelly. Oh, yeah. Angel fans are digging it. Let's take a look at this one. Does it hit Kelly? Yeah, I think it came off the bare hand. It got off his throwing hand. Well, you talk about a sting. And that'll stay with him for a while. A lot of times when you get hit in the hand, you lose feeling on the fingertips. Now here's a guy that throws 98 miles an hour. You want him feeling some kind of sensation in his fingertips when he's throwing at you. See how fast he gets back on him. Right on the right hand. So he says he's okay.
Hey, after Doug Fister, I'm a believer that you could take just about anything and stay in there. He got hit. Remember, I think it was Gregor Blanco in Game 2 of the World Series.
Yeah.
So here's Torres. Torres is 1 for 2.
First pitch changeup.
Alan Craig comes in, and that's the ball game. So the Cardinals take the series. They win yesterday and they win today. And this was a day, Mike, where lots of happy faces before the game, none so much right now.
Well, it's just an unusual game when you see Matt Cain get in and retire the first 9 guys he faces, and then you're thinking, all right, here we go. But then a 9 spot in the 4th ruined it for everybody.
So there's your final. Cardinals 14 and the Giants 3. Stay tuned. Esurance Giants postgame live with interviews and the wrap, and that's going to start right now.